things are getting out of hand with Lucasfilm and Star Wars, let me tell you. Look, they are touting that the Acolyte trailer breaks Lucasfilm records, yet they don't really go more in depth than simply what they want to tell you to get people excited about this show that no one really cares about. Let's take a look. This is over at StarWars.com. This, just a day after the trailer premiered, goes, thanks to Star Wars fans, the trailer launch for The Acolyte has been one to remember. Released yesterday, the trailer for The Acolyte garnered 51.3 million views in the first 24 hours. This is a new digital-only record for any Lucasfilm Disney Plus series, surpassing every trailer for The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and or Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ahsoka. We are grateful for your support and can't wait for you to experience this series. Now, obviously, they had to push this whole idea that this trailer is doing huge numbers and is being loved and praised by everybody because, well, nobody's going to watch it. They know nobody's going to watch this show. They know that people are hating this show. They know that people don't want to see this show. So much so that if you take a look, that just yesterday, on March 23rd, now this is 3 days since the release of the trailer, it is sitting at 381.975 dislikes compared to 167.318 likes. That is 70% of the people who have watched the trailer. 70% of the people who have watched the trailer have disliked what they're showing. That is an incredible number. That is a outrageous number of people who don't want to see this show, who think that this trailer is complete ass. But we have to go into more of why. We talked about it the other day, and there's a lot of videos out there. There's a lot of people out there talking about why people aren't interested in seeing this video or this show. It's because they're not talking about Star Wars with it. And this goes all the way back to last summer. They're not talking about Star Wars. All they keep talking about, all they keep pushing is diversity, equity, and inclusion, woman empowerment. How many gay people they got in it. How many trans people they have working or in this show. That is all they want to talk about. God forbid they talk about Star Wars in a Star Wars show, right? God forbid! Not to mention that the quality of Star Wars has not been up to par over the last 10 years. I was skimming through TikTok. Oh God, don't come after me, government. Don't come after me, government. And the Mandalorian historian popped up, and he had some things to say about it.
So it's looking like the Acolyte trailer did so bad that Disney has started to reach out to Star Wars content creators, and they're paying them to say good things about Star Wars The Acolyte.
And that would not be the first time that we would see something like this coming from a big major corporation trying to push a positive spin on something that's coming out. This has happened with Marvel. This has happened with even DC. They want to push a positive message, a positive spin on something coming up, especially when there's such a negative aura around it.
You've also seen a lot of press being the trailer got the most views in history, but it also had a lot of negative
He goes on and he does speak about how there's a lot of issues where Disney, Lucasfilm is trying to push this positive spin on this trailer for this show. Now, he does go on to say that it's just because the negativity is just stemming from the bad Star Wars that we've gotten over the years. Nothing to do with the agenda pushing, which I think he's wrong about there. Look, let's face it. Star Wars is in a very, very bad place. It has been for a number of years now. Personally, I do appreciate what they've done with The Mandalorian. I do think that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have created a nice little section of Star Wars with the Mandalorian universe over there. And I will continue to give that a chance every time they put out a new a new series or a film, but everything else just hasn't lived up to what it should have been or should be. Obi-Wan was terrible. I was not a fan of Andor. The movies, specifically the sequel trilogy, was terrible. And now The Acolyte, and I've been warning everybody for months that this was going to happen, and nobody wanted to listen. Nobody wanted to listen to what I was saying. The fact of the matter is, when you watch this trailer, they had a list of check marks that they had to check off. There was a list. It was woman, check. Black woman, check. Hispanic, check. Gay, check. And they literally had to go through that list in this trailer. And at the very bottom, they're like, oh, we got to make sure it's Star Wars. Check. People are realizing this. That's why this trailer isn't doing well. It has more to do with that than the fact that Star Wars has been written and handled badly. Which, yes, it has been. You take a look and see what Leslie Headland, the showrunner of this show, has been saying, and how she's like, growing up as a queer girl who loved the sea witch of Little Mermaid, who wasn't a queer character, mind you, but who grew up watching the sea witch on a Little Mermaid, wish I could have had a show like this. What the hell does that have to do with Star Wars? Do you understand? That is the problem. When you're talking about Star Wars, talk about Star Wars. Don't talk about your ideals. Don't talk and push about your agendas that you're trying to push in your show. That is what the problem is. That's why this trailer has 380,000 plus dislikes. That's why. It's not because it has a black person. It's not because it has women in it. Dune was wildly successful, and it is a very diverse cast. But you know what they didn't do? They didn't go around with the marketing saying, look how diverse we are! That's not what they did. They focused on, this is Dune. This is the story. This is the movie. That's what they did. That's why it's wildly successful, because they focused on the movie and the story. Learn how to do that, Star Wars. Learn how to do that, Lucasfilm. Stop hiring these ultra-touristic pieces of shit, honestly, to run your shows, to make your movies, to write these stories, who think they know what Star Wars is, but they're just jumping in there because they're like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to push an agenda. That's what needs to stop. We just want good stories. We want Star Wars. We want Star Wars. That's what we want. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you think about all this. With all that said, I'll catch you all later.